Hey everyone, it's Eric Huey, host of the Gen Y Leaders Podcast, where we prepare millennials to be leaders of the future. Now, if you're familiar with the podcast, you know that it's usually interview-based, and we tell the success stories of high-performing millennials. Each time, I tend to ask a couple of the same questions. Not all the same questions, because that would be a boring podcast, but there are a key 1 to 2 questions that I ask every guest on the show. And one of those is, what books or resources have made a positive impact in your life or in your business? Books are such incredible resources because they take years upon years of people's successes and failures and condense them into a few hours of reading. The mission of the book breakdown is to take those few hours of reading and then further condense them into 15 minutes or less of listening. This is the Gen Y Leader Podcast Book Breakdown.
What's up, Gen Y leaders? Amy Jo here from herownmagic.com. I am so excited to be back with you guys. I am a life and business coach for female entrepreneurs who are ready to take their passions and create a life and business around them. So I help them build online courses, build ebooks, and all sorts of digital products. And it has just been so fun. And I cannot wait to do this book review with you guys. I'm very passionate about the book and the woman that I am going to share with you today. Her name is actually Denise Duffield Thomas, and she has several books. And the one we're going to be talking about today is called Chillpreneur, which is so funny to me because I feel like as entrepreneurs, we come into this world kind of already feeling like we're behind in the game, and we're thinking, how can we ever be chill? How can we relax into this process and learn and, spread our wings and fly, because we feel like there's a million things that we have to do. We have to build a website, we have to grow a list, we have to market, we have to know all of these things. And that's the belief that we have coming into this. And so what Denise does in her books is she breaks all of those belief systems, which is so cool, right? So one of her books talks all about money blocks. And so, as you kind of look into her and you research her, she is the money block queen. And if you're not familiar with what that term is, it's basically a negative belief that you have around money that may be keeping you stuck. And so that may look like, money doesn't grow on trees, or I'll never have enough, or who would pay me to be doing this? I don't know enough to be doing that. I can't charge those prices. That's crazy. All of these different money blocks that actually keep us stuck in a place of not moving forward and not growing our life and our business and our income the way that we want to. So her Chillpreneur book, like I mentioned before, is kind of a 180 from people out there who are teaching the hustle and you have to go and you have to work all the time and you have to do XYZ before you have any success. And she basically pulls back the curtain of her life and lets you breathe for 2 seconds, because like I mentioned, we feel like when we're coming into this industry, we feel like we're already behind. Like, oh, so many people have been doing this for years, and I have so much catching up to do. I need this freebie and that freebie, and I need to have all these products perfect before I can sell them. And really, it's the total opposite, because what that creates for you is it creates overwhelm and it creates stress. And a lot of time that overwhelm and stress can actually lead to procrastination. Is this ringing a bell for anybody? I know it totally rang a bell for me. When I get really overwhelmed or stressed, I get burnout super fast, or I procrastinate, or I think, I'll get to that when I get to it, because that's way too overwhelming to even think about right now. And it's just kind of this whirlwind of blah that keeps us stuck. So anyways, I'm going to go into 5 takeaways or 5 main points that I really like throughout this book that may encourage you to go read it or listen to the audio version. I'm all about the audio version, I love listening to things, so it's way easier. So, okay, so number 1, she talks about before I even say this, this is something that I had to work through so hard, and I feel like it's a constant mindset shift that I have to do on a regular basis, because we're humans, and a lot of times, we want people to like us. We want that validation. We want people to be like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, yeah, woo, wah. But every now and then you're gonna get people who are like, what are you even doing? Do you even know what you're doing? This happened to me. This has happened to me multiple times since I started my business. Multiple times where people question me and they doubt me or they don't get me. And I'm in a place now where I'm just like, those are not my people. You know, I acknowledge you, you acknowledge me, and we can move on. Right? So, but again, this is all mindset stuff. So back to the point. She talks about not everyone is going to like you. And so this is something, especially coming into the entrepreneurial world, that you're going to have to get used to, which is so hard for me to say. But you're going to have to get to a place where you know who you are, you know what you're doing, and you know that, you know, what you're putting out is of value. And that's all that matters. Right? Because not every single person's going to like you. They're going to think I'm quirky. They're going to think I'm weird. They're going to be like, why'd she even say that? Why does her voice do all these different octaves? Like, they're going to judge you. And that's okay. Because I personally am on a bigger mission than that. And if I'm going to stay in fear of someone judging me or of someone, you know, not liking me or thinking I'm a weirdo or whatever, then that's just going to keep me stuck, and that's going to hold me back from helping the people that I want to help. So that's a no-no. We got to get over that, guys. Okay, so number 2, chill out. I know, right? It's right in the title, Chillpreneur, but chill out. And what this means, we kind of touched on it already, but it's basically giving yourself that grace to take a breath, to relax into this process, to enjoy the process. I see so many entrepreneurs and clients of mine who come in, you know, to working with me, and they're freaked out. They're like, oh my gosh, I have to do all of these things. They're just like on this little hamster wheel, and they're not giving themselves enough time to breathe and to really see what's going on. And what's going on is that they're on a really quick road to burnout. So if you just relax, if you chill out and don't jump to all the shiny objects, which that's a whole nother can of worms, all the shiny objects, right? Because there's so many, especially if you're on Facebook, there's an ad every 2 seconds for a freebie or for, you know, this thing that you can't live without, that your business isn't going to have any success with unless you download it right now, or unless you watch that training, or unless you pay $3,000 to, you know, see this and this and this. No. You gotta relax. You gotta relax, because when we relax, we can actually hear more of our intuition talking and, you know, what our soul really wants. And that's a beautiful thing. So again, a whole can of worms, but chill out, guys. Okay, number 3. Business doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to look hard. It doesn't have to feel hard. And again, this was another one that I had to work through as well, because when we hear the word entrepreneur, we think go, 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 hustle, side hustle, do this, do that, late nights, early mornings. And it doesn't have to look or feel like that, because, I mean, what you're doing is you're probably, you know, building a life that gets you out of a 9-to-5 or gets you out of a cubicle or gets you that freedom-based lifestyle. And if you're doing that, like, hello, that freedom-based lifestyle is not being chained to your desk at home when you've just left a cubicle. You know, we want to have that freedom and that relaxed, you know, feeling in that mindset. And so you have to start transitioning your mindset to believing that, okay, business doesn't have to be hard. I'm doing this because I enjoy it, and I'm doing this because I want to. Okay? Does that make sense? You gotta feel all the feels so that you can relax into this. And again, give yourself some grace. And I'm going to tie back to that point in just a minute. But the next one is freedom and independence can be yours with the right tools. So I feel like a lot of people who kind of look at this lifestyle, they look at people online, and maybe they look at Denise, or they look at, you know, these heavy hitters, and they're like, yeah, you know, that's for them, it's not for me, or they did it, but I can't. And you have this mindset where it's like, well, you know, that would be cool, but that's probably not like really achievable for me. Again, mindset shifts. So if you're picking up, this book is really big on mindset shifts for you, for me, for everybody who reads it, because like freedom, the business that you want, the independence that you want, all of this stuff can be yours when you believe that you deserve it, for one, and when you believe that it can actually happen to you and your business. So all of this comes down to taking steps that support you. So steps that support your mindset, steps that support your home life, your business life. And that's my point number 5, which I'll get to in a second, but taking these supports so that you really can have that business and that freedom and that, you know, lifestyle that you really desire to have. Okay. So point number 5, like I just mentioned, is get the support that so that you don't have to do everything by yourself. And that's at home, that's with your business, that's with your online business, whatever you are doing is have that support. And Denise, oh my gosh, she has this amazing blog post. I think you can just, search it and be like Denise's support system or something like that. But she goes into this huge blog post because when you're looking at people online, you're like, man, she does everything. Like, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to do this or that or whatever. And she has this whole blog post where she breaks down, like, this is what I do in my business. This is what my husband does in my business. This is what our housekeeper does. I have this many housekeepers. I have this many, landskeepers or house managers or, contract workers who help me. This person does my Facebook ads. This person does XYZ. And so really to see that, you think, oh, well, my bad. I thought I had to do everything by myself. I'm like, no, you don't. You get that support from people who, it's that their zone of genius. So for me personally in my business, I'm not a Facebook ads guru, and I don't really want to be. I don't really have any desire to learn that or, dabble in that or do anything like that. So what can I do? I can go on Fiverr and hire someone for, way cheaper than my time, because I don't want to waste time doing that. I can hire someone where they love doing it. It's their zone of genius and they can take it over. They can take that off my plate. For our house, we have someone who mows the lawn. And, it's just these little things that you can start doing to outsource and to get support for you so that you can focus on what you want to and focus on what you do best, which maybe that's creating, or maybe that's marketing, or maybe that's, whatever it is, you have to find that. And then you get a team around you. Eventually, this isn't overnight, like add them in one by one, but you get a team around you that supports you, that feels good, and helps you stay out of that burnout phase, or overwhelm phase, or procrastination phase, right? Because we don't want to go there. So hopefully that gave you kind of a good, 411 or whatever of the book, so that you, if you want to, go out and read it or get the audiobook. But it's really interesting because it's a total, like I said, it's a 180 from what we think of the entrepreneurial world and, the busy, the hustle, all of that. It's the total opposite. It's relaxed and, building your business really on your terms in a way that feels good to you, in a way that's not overwhelming, in a way that doesn't, stress you out and make you want to cry. This is so important. So I've told you my ahas throughout this, and I do want to give you a call to action, something that you guys can do right now. And I want you to make a list of, a little T chart. So on the left side, you're going to put everything that you love doing. It's like the best. You love it. You're great at it. It's like your zone of genius, everything that you love. And then on the right side, make a list of everything that you're like, I don't really like this, but I feel like I have to do it. Because those are the things that eventually you can start outsourcing. So, when it comes to your business, maybe that's Facebook ads, maybe that's, blog posts, maybe it's, I don't know, you got to look at your business and see what you can outsource and what you can keep. But I hope this has been so good for you. I, again, love this book. I love everything that Denise puts out, all about the money blocks. Again, that is a huge thing. So Chillpreneur talks about it a bit, but if you really want to get, into money blocks, what they are, which ones you have, go to her website, Denise Duffield Thomas's website, and she has a quiz there, and you can see, exactly what kind of blocks are in your mindset that maybe you don't even know that you had. So you can start clearing those. So anyways, I really appreciate you hanging out with me today and taking the time to listen to this. Go check out the book. You can find me, like I said, at herownmagic.com, and it has been a pleasure. I'll talk to you guys later.